Welcome to Shop Dog's how-to videos brought to you by Yard Gear. We're here at Yard Gear. I'm going to show you the Easy Start system that's on the FS40C. It's also on many other models, and so Shop Dog and I are going to just kind of show you how it all works and how easy it is to start one of these machines. First thing you'll notice is the easy ergonomic handle up front gives you good firm, nice and strong. The next thing to note about this particular model, if you look at probably the one you have home, probably has an on-off switch on it. This has sort of an on-off switch, but with a twist. When I turn it off, it comes right back on. What that avoids is any chance of trying to start the machine with it turned off and therefore flooding it. So they've avoided that by simply having a momentary off switch. And don't worry, you don't have to hold it down till it comes to a complete stop. It's got a mechanism in there where press it and it comes to a stop on its own, and then once it stops, it's ready to go. It's got a nice safety feature here. It will not let you pull the trigger unless you've got this held down by your thumb. You're going to do that anyway, it's very natural. There's your full throttle control right there. That just avoids revving up the engine by accident when you don't want to. Next thing to look at is kind of at the back here, right above your fuel tank. Right in here, it's got a primer button. That's really useful for when you haven't used it for a little while or when you've just run it out of fuel. Instead of pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling until you get the gas back through to the carburetor and eventually to the engine and then eventually to start it, you simply give this 4 or 5 primes and it's ready to go. Luckily, it's also a bypass primer, so any extra fuel is just distributed back to the tank instead of flooding the engine. Very simple mechanism for starting. It does require a choke, as most machines do. That's the choke right in here. Just so that you can't put it on by accident, you do have to push it in and then pull up just like that. Very simple to do, but just very easy to make sure that things don't go wrong. They just add that little mechanism. You got to make sure to push in, pull up, all the way into the full choke position, and then basically we are ready to start here now. So what we've got here is full choke position, but that also does set your throttle as well, so there's no throttles to set. I don't have to hold my throttle, I don't have to do anything. I've simply walked up to the machine, put the choke on. I'm going to pull once or twice like that. The engine's going to start, and once it starts, I'm simply going to take control of it, pull my throttle. It's going to automatically take the choke off for me. We're going to warm it up for about 8 to 10 seconds, and then we're off trimming. The only other thing to note on this is, I don't know if you noticed the pulling effort that I was putting into that. I wasn't cranking my shoulder over to get this thing to start. It has an actual part of the Easy Start system is that you really have to pull this thing very gently. It's got an extra recoil spring in there that allows me to pull this thing slowly and gently rather than taking my shoulder off. It allows people with limited mobility and maybe even limited strength to be able to still start and use a Stihl FS40.